Hi everyone and welcome back to the Colour Cave where we like to play with art stuff. My name is Jem and today is an unboxing only video for the 38th Upcrate. So that is the October box from the German monthly subscription company. So we're going to get torn in, literally. And we are going to investigate the supplies that come in this box. We're also going to take a look at a featured artist, some inspiration, motivation and tips, and also an art prompt which they call their Upcrate battle. We will have a think about that as we test out supplies. The actual battle art piece will be in a separate video in around about a week's time, so you can keep your eyes out for that. Their magazine that comes in the box with all the bits and pieces in it is called the Bottle Post, and I am in love with this. I actually did something quite similar to this. It was a long time ago now. I drew a lion. I think he's more having a yawn. Anyway, and it was on black paper, so I'm really hoping it's black paper we've got, and it looks like some kind of charcoal, because that's exciting. Okay, right, so we're going to take a look at that in a minute. First things first, yes, here is our featured artist, and this is Connor's studio. So this is Connor Smith, and you can see he's drawn a big cat here. Oh, what is this? Is this like some kind of... Okay, this is to indicate that the line work is basically all his white lines. And he's put in B for black. So in the areas that he doesn't want, so you can see anywhere that's B for black is where he's leaving it blank, or maybe B for blank actually, and then the rest of them. So this is like his plan before he actually did it. Now that's quite interesting. Very good indeed. What is this? Okay, here are our stickers. Oh, I like these. Oh, he's got a giraffe as well. Yes, scratch the surface. Oh, so this might be etching board or etching paper. Oh, that would be amazing, because I was wanting to do a video on that anyway. I've got rainbow etching board there that I've never done a video on. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you would be interested in seeing, or maybe you can wait and see. Oh, okay, right, here we go. Aha. So we've got what looks like carbon paper, tracing paper and scratch board. We've had this before, museum series. Scratch with precision, add brilliant colour, create incredible detail. Okay, oh, I think I'm going to have fun with that. Rock solid. It's actually a good size as well, so it's kind of like halfway between A5 and A6. It's like in the middle. It's 13 by 18 centimetres. This is exciting. This is an exciting box. Okay, scratches are part of life. I see they've started using recycled paper here as well, which I approve of greatly. And this is all, it's much sturdier than the tissue paper as well, because it's not, nothing's drastically wrong. Okay, oh my goodness, I'm flinging stuff about here. Okay, so we have an art knife here, an X-Acto blade if you're American. It's a scalpel, let's face it. This is for precision cutting. We've got some Indian ink. It's Talon's Indian ink as well, so that's going to be fairly good quality. And we have some little etching tools here with handles as well. So basically these little blades, because that's essentially what they are. Let's just take them out of here. These are going to be quite sharp. These just slot in. See, they're kind of like semicircular at this end, and they just slot into the handles like so, and then off you go. So you can use it like a pen or a pencil. This is I learned about these when I did the first time I did lino cutting, which didn't go well at all. It nearly destroyed my poor injured hand. But yeah, so there's two different blades here. So there's kind of like a kind of pointy point. It's a pointy point. But these side edges are sharp also. I've also got one that's more kind of curved, and I can imagine us making more like it looks like a pizza knife, like a rocking motion with it, as well as having our X-Acto blade. And there's also clayboard in here, which I'm assuming is scratch in detail and texture. Okay, I've never used this before, so I don't know. I think the idea is that you maybe put some colour on top and then scratch it back off again. Erase and rework easily. Oh, nice. Okay, right, well, this is interesting because this is something that we've never had before. I have been unboxing subscription boxes since late 2017, and I have never seen this in a subscription box, so I'm really happy. This is good. Okay, so let's learn a little bit more about our supplies, because there seems to be quite a lot here, and I'm hoping that the bottle post will give us a bit more information on each of our bits and pieces. So the clayboard and the scratch board. Museum series clayboard is made from premium warp resistant FSC certified hardboard. The ultra smooth absorbent clay surface allows for unlimited techniques of etching, erasing, reworking, adding colour and scratching away to add contrast, texture and fine detail. Perfect for mixed media, inks, acrylic, graphite. It's basically they're saying you can use it for everything. They're saying you can paint on it and all sorts. Clayboard's absorbent coating results in oil paints drying very rapidly into a matte finish. This is like wonder surface here. The scratch board, again, it's made from, you know, like environmentally friendly stuff. It's acid free and all the rest of it. Top choice of professional scratch board artists. Eco-friendly and artist safe. Made in the USA. It's made in Texas. Well done, Texas. 2 scraper cutting tools. Okay, these did feel very familiar to me in the shape of them. These are made by SD, which is the same people that made the lino cutting tools that I'd used before. Their stuff's good quality, it's reliable. High carbon steel cutters, hardened and tempered to maximum limits for long life. Jig ground to provide the optimum scraping edge. 2 selected scraping cutters and 2 scraper handles for holding the scraper cutters are inside your box. Okay, right. These are made in the UK. I didn't know that. There we go. Stencil knife. Blades are exchangeable. Always place protective cap on the aluminium handle once you finish your work for safety reasons. Yeah, that's these are really, really sharp. It's essentially a scalpel blade, so you've got to be super careful with that. I particularly have to be super careful because my motor function is unpredictable, but I also don't have any feeling in these 3 fingers from an operation that I had in my hand. But I'm always a little bit nervous, especially when it's a new medium I'm working with. I might have to put like a chainmail glove on or something for doing this. Anyway, moving swiftly on. The end you've got to laugh. I mean, the number of times I've hurt my hand, like unintentionally as well, is hilarious. Okay, right, the Indian ink. Dip pens, drawing, blah, blah, blah. It's saying you can use it. I love Indie. I love it. I just love Indie ink. They're actually giving you some instructions here. Use the white clayboard to practice. Apply the black ink with a brush to the white clayboard and let the ink dry. Then you can use the knife to refine your scratching technique before using the black scratch board. You can apply black ink again and have a practice area. This can be repeated several times depending on application. Use the black ink as a repair ink to cover up unwanted lines in your artwork. It can be used on both boards. Okay, now this makes sense. That is really thoughtful. So as long as you don't cut too deep, you know, as long as you're just scratching, you can actually reuse this and just, you know, basically re-ink it. That's amazing. That is super cool. I love it. Upcrate, you have done a fantastic job. Okay, tracing paper and the graphite transfer paper. Graphite transfer paper is a specialised pattern tracing paper for drawing that enables you to transfer one design from one surface to another. Please watch the complete co-captain video, there's an O missing there, that describes the technique of using tracing and graphite transfer paper. So they're actually giving you the option to watch it being done. I would also wager that perhaps that is why this is on the back of the featured artwork, because this would allow you to graphite transfer this onto another sheet of paper and you could actually recreate this on the scratch board if it's something that you're not confident in going from scratch. There it is, there's the pun, that wasn't intentional. If you instead of doing your own design from scratch is what I mean. So that's really nice and that appeals to a much broader skill set of artists, which is very, very important for these boxes for their longevity. Hello co-captain Connor. Oh, he's done loads of them. I want to do a giraffe. He's already done a giraffe. Pet portrait and wildlife artist that specialises in the medium of scratch board. Well, that's fun. It is a 2-dimensional subtractive art form, consists of white kaolin clay coated hardboard covered with black Indian ink. Okay, so they're basically saying that this plus this makes you one of these. So if you're the lazy type, you can just buy this. If you're less lazy, you can do this and it means you can reuse it. Love it. The majority of the values within the artwork are achieved by varying the amount of surface layer that has been removed, which is basically just pressure, which allows creation of beautiful artworks with stunning levels of contrast. So there's a little bit about him there, what he's doing. Oh, look, he's wolf as well, and he's Winnie Babbit. I love this. Okay, so this is about him. Oh, This is definitely following him on Instagram because I love this kind of stuff. Okay, so he's got some tips for us, which I would love to hear. Scratchboard can be a slow medium that takes time to complete, again, just like pencil. Do not feel like you have to go large to achieve detail. As you can see in my work, you can get very realistic detail on a small scale. If you're scratching fur, do it lightly and build up the fur texture. Scratching lightly will give the impression of fur deep down underneath all of the top fur. This will also help if you make any mistakes. Do not worry about smudges on your board. Sometimes the oils off of our hands, there's another spelling mistake there, it's just a typo, can leave a smudge or mark that you may think has damaged the board. To combat this, you can either wear gloves or rest your hand on a piece of material. Material? Oh, okay. You can also varnish your finished scratchboards. I was going to say varnish your hand. You can also varnish your finished scratchboards with a spray to protect them. This will also remove any unwanted smudges or marks. I'm losing my mind. Starting from scratch. Oh, there we go. I've already made the joke. I beat you to it. There's actually, there's a little bit on tools you can use here. The ones in the box, but also ones you can use as alternatives as well. And there's a bit on techniques. Oh, this is so good. Like, this is perfect. They're obviously aware that scratchboard is not a medium that's sort of, I don't want to say mainstream, of course it's mainstream, but it's one of the lesser seen mediums. Obviously things like pencils and markers and paint are much more common. So they're actually giving you a full rundown here of loads of different things to get you started, which is absolutely amazing. And I wish we had more of this in these subscription boxes, even if it's materials that we've had before, micro focusing on a specific technique like layering or blending or hatching, you know, anything like that. Like, it's absolutely worth it, and I wish they'd spend more time. I sometimes feel, particularly with the monthly subscription boxes, that here I go again, I'm getting in all the jokes today, that they literally just scratch the surface of a medium, and I do find that the magazines can be very surface level. So I am really, really impressed with this. I did notice that this bottle post is a little bit thicker than normal. Elephant eye, oh, he's even given you a tutorial as well. That's amazing. That is super, super cool. And again, it's going all the way through here. This is amazing. That looks really sinister from there though. Oh, but look at that. That's amazing. That's so cool. And there's the finished product there. And again, that's not a big canvas. If you see it next to his hand, that's not a big canvas. Oh, that's so cool. Right, okay, that's made me really happy. Okay, our sailor of the month. And yes, this is, I want to say Merilia K. Merilia, and oh, this is lovely. Oh, that was the one with the 4 pieces of paper. That's clever. Look, she's got the Upcrate logo in the middle. Oh, look at these. Look at these. Okay. Oh, the winner of the July Upcrate battle, Nature is Art. Oh, this is nice, but they got really pretty colours. Lucky them. Yeah, they've done a good job with that. Oh, these are, I really like this one as well, actually. I'm into that. I am super. These are all lovely. These are well deserved. Well deserved. I actually ended up quite enjoying myself. That was one of those sort of surprise Upcrate battles that I really like, you know, took me by surprise enjoyment. Oh, goodness me. And this is the one for Childhood Dreams. Oh, these were the pencils. I didn't like the pencils. Oh, these are lovely. Super nice. Oh, look at the little dinosaurs. Oh my god, that's amazing. This is one of the ones I would like to redraw my own artwork with different supplies. So again, that's something I've kind of like stored that way in my possible videos box for another time. Okay, that is the bottle post, and here is our battle topic starting from scratch. I can't believe the first joke that I made is actually the prompt. Okay, fabulous. Doesn't matter whether your creation is abstract, pictorial, there are no limits, possibilities of the new medium. They're making the assumption that everyone's never used this before. I knew of it and I've dabbled in it. I've just not created any sort of completed pieces of art with it. So that's that's a very wide assumption that they've made there. Play with contrast, whether you're creating a Connor style wildlife, so approach things realistically or abstractly. abstractly, leaving out more than shows. The possibilities are endless. I think this is one of these things that's just going to be really good fun. I kind of already know what I'm going to do. The thing that's annoying me is I love to draw on black paper. I wish I had time to do it more often. I've actually got a black sketchbook, so maybe not on scratchboard, but I have an idea for a painting, and I'm wondering if I should maybe try and execute it as a scratchboard design instead. Oh, I'm so glad I've got time to think about this, because normally I kind of fixate on one idea and I can't get past it, and that's what I end up doing because I can't move past that particular idea. It's very rare for me to have more than one idea and not actually know what I'm doing. However, I do actually technically have 2 sets of scratchboard if I Indian ink this one, so I can maybe even do 2 and just try and cram it into one video. Anyway, let's I was going to say let's test out the supplies. Clearly I don't really want to be doing that. I'm not going to touch this scratchboard, but what I'm going to do is I want to have a play with this clayboard. That's probably a good idea because I'm interested to see how it works when we re-ink it, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's crack open. I suppose we want to try these blades out as well. Oh, good grief. I nearly injured myself punching myself in the face there. That wouldn't be a good start. I'm making the assumption that that's sharp. It's pretty sharp. So this is like our test run. This is our guinea pig. Oh, it's so smooth. Like, it's really smooth. So I suppose if you wanted to do, I've actually just scratched that with my nail. That's interesting. So that it doesn't take much to scratch this. Yeah. Now obviously my nails aren't sharp. I'm going to find myself, I'm going to give this a shake, and I'm going to find myself a decent sized brush so that I can cover this all. I was going to see if this had a dropper with it. It's not really a dropper. Right. Oh, this is so lovely. It's so lovely. This feels really thick for Indian ink. Like, it feels super thick. Oh, that's just dripped all over my hand. Put it on the cellophane. Okay. Oh, that's drying super quick as well. I'm gonna have to get a move on. Yeah, this feels really thick for Indian ink. Indian ink that I've used is not this thick. It feels almost like acrylic paint. It's drying so quickly. I think that that's obviously got a lot to do with the characteristics of the clayboard, because they did mention about oil paints as well. I can barely spread that. That's like, whew. I'm sorry if you can hear like guinea pig noises in the background. Jock's having a wee dream to himself. He's okay. Okay, this is not going the way I mean, that's dry. That is crazy. You can see that on the camera. That's just drying like, you know, oh. Ideally, if you're doing this, you want a brush the size of the entire bit of board so you can go in one sweep and that's it. Either that or work in much smaller sections. Or do like you would do an acrylic pour and just put a line at one end and then tip it up and let it run down. I don't know. You know, like when you read about something drying quickly, you're like, yeah, okay. You expect it to be fairly speedy. I did not expect it to be lightning fast. I am not complaining though. Like, that one of the worst parts of being an art YouTuber is waiting for things to dry, especially things that you can't hit with either a heat gun or like a hairdryer, and you've got to sit about. There's nothing worse. Like, there's so many other things you could be doing with your day. So yeah, definitely not complaining. Maybe try this with a different brush next time. That's bananas. Like, this is dry. I'm touching that and there's nothing coming off in my finger. Holy crap. I am so impressed. I don't think my desk's going to dry quite as quickly though. Weirdly. Yeah, weirdly, I have antibacterial wipes here. It's not something I normally use. But I'd been using them earlier because Jock had jumped up on the armchair in the cave, and he was very dirty. It's very, very wet out here. It's very muddy just now. And he jumped up onto the chair, so the chair is leather, and I'd been wiping it down with the antibacterial wipes, so that was handy. It hasn't dried uniformly. You can see that if I tilt it in the light there, you can see a lot of my brush strokes. Now, anyway, that's not why we're here. This is meant to be a learning tool, so I want to keep my hand out the way, but I'm gonna have to, do you know what I'm gonna do? This is purely for my own safety, so I don't have to hold the board with my non-dominant hand, which is obviously the hand that would get injured if I slip with this hand. I am going to blue tack this to the desk so that I don't have to grab onto it, because I think that will increase my chances greatly of not bleeding by the end of this video, which I'm sure that's something, well, hopefully Hopefully that's something that we all we all want. I suppose orientation doesn't really matter at this juncture either. Okay, so they're saying that if we do this lightly, then we can redo it basically. So that's me with the very tip of the scalpel, and I mean the lines that you can get. I mean that's just crazy. Zoom in. I wonder if we can use the whole side of the blade. Oh, not really, but we can. Okay, right, I'm not that excited about that, honestly. Let's try this one. Oh! Okay, right, so I'm getting like we can use the tips, but I'm not really able to use the sides. Like that's just me pressing hard. Like I was hoping to get a whole set like this, like a whole section, you know, with this side of the blade, and it's not really happening. I'm assuming this one looks like one you would use more for. Okay, maybe not. Yes, yeah, right, that's more what I'm talking about. So I can use the side of that one and get a much thicker line, you know, compared to what was going on up here. And you can see there I've taken off a lot more. And if I go very, very lightly, can you see that? And you can't see that for the light. I've made much lighter marks there, and I can go back over them. So this is they're talking about fur texture. Interesting. I want to know how he's got like the curve of a curve of an eye there, and he's literally just scraped that out in the shape of the curve of an eyeball and kept all his lines going in the same direction. This is going to be really hard on my hand. So I'm literally just looking at the featured artist's artwork here to see what he's done. And it seems to me that I'm taking off too much. So that's basically it for the tiger's eye. And then he's done the lower eyelid, which clearly that needs a bit of practice. Like obviously I'm just doing this very quickly to try it out. And then he's gone for the fur under their eye. I think I'm going to have a lot of practice with these tools. And straight away, if I'm going to do anything with fur, it's going to have to be, I'm going to have to be able to turn the board. Okay, so that's quite interesting. What I'm now more interested in, see that kind of makes me want to sand that down with something, because that feel like I can feel it. But what we're supposed to do here is we're supposed to go back over it with our India ink again, which is very, very interesting indeed. Because obviously I only need to cover this bit, and I need to go super quick with my brush that's oh goodness me. Now I can see the marks that I've made. There's a really big gouge there. That was next. Oh schmoly balls! Don't say the swear words. This is a family-friendly video. Let's just give this a bit of a once over. Back to that. So I have covered it up indeed. There is no scratches anywhere. Cool. Once this is drying so quickly, this is taking a little bit longer because it's ink on top of ink. It's not ink straight on top of the clay. And I can see where I've dug the scalpel in, but there's actually no white showing, so technically, in theory, I should be able to do this again over the top, which I'm really, really curious about this. Let's change the orientation this time. I do think the blue tack was a good idea as well. Yeah, I definitely need more practice with these. What is this sorcery? Yeah, so, that's ridiculous. Right, there's me going back over a bit that I already used. Can you see there? See if I just scrape this away. Oh no, it's taking it away. It was leaving the ink where the actual gouge was. Again, I'll zoom in a bit. I'll do another part. So you can see in the camera there, like that was a really deep one. So if I go over the top of this with the really deep scratches, you can see that they're still there. But if we keep going enough, there you go, that's showing that quite clearly there. I'm not pressing hard here, I'm just going back over the same part a couple of times. So you can see the really deep scratches are still there, but if I go in again and actually scrape that away, I can make it disappear. So that's really cool. So you're able to do that a few times before the integrity of the board is compromised. So I think I'm going to keep a hold of this, and I'm going to experiment with these these blades a little bit because I'm not entirely sure. Because honestly, I think I would probably just do everything with a scalpel. I think this one's probably, you know, with the curve in it, that's probably going to be the most useful. But I am actually going to sit and go through the techniques that are in the bottle post, especially because I have, you know, I'm a motor function compromised. This will be really helpful for me to be familiar with it before I actually draw anything. So yeah, that's definitely on the cards, and that is a first for a subscription box for me. I've always just gone in blind because it's much more fun and kind of done my own thing, and I'm not going to do that this time. So, well guys, I was not expecting this for my afternoon, and this has made me really, really happy. It's so nice and so refreshing to have something like this that we've never had before in a subscription box that seems fairly easy to pick up. I imagine it's difficult to master, but anybody can get started. So this Upcrate absolutely 100% has a mega, mega, mega thumbs up from me. As always though, I'm really interested to hear what the cavers you guys have to say. So get down into the comments section and give me your opinions, because I am freaking excited. Cannot wait to get started on this. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for coming and hanging out. If you've made it this far, it would be really helpful if you could take a moment to hit the like button. That really helps me out. The channel has been super quiet, and the more likes we get, the more that people will be able to find us and keep the channel nice and busy. I'm off to do a little bit of tidying up and pop this away for another day, and I will see you all back in the cave really soon for another video. So have a great day everyone, and bye bye for now.